Hi there, this is Sheena Rowlands and today I'm sharing with you my latest layout for Bramble Fox. And for this layout I'll be using the What a Ride perspective from the Thrill Seeker set and also using Fox Dies number 22. That's the perspective there, and I've got four small photographs that I'm going to use, and I bring in the Vicky Booting collection Where To Next, or what I've got left of it, and this is one of the pre-made Vicky Booting backgrounds. So I'm just deciding how I want to use the background. I've decided I'd like to do a vertical column, and I prefer the background with the drips going sideways. So I'm going to have a look at the collection, and I decide that I want to add like a tag behind each of the photographs. So I'm just going to go through the collection now and see what I've got that would be suitable colours. Originally I started looking at blues and greens, and then I decided actually I was going to go with blues and maybe like an orangey yellow as well. So I'm just having a look what papers I think would work behind the photographs and with the background. Lots of bits and pieces, as you can see, already half used, but I'm going to draw around the tag I've already got and create some more of my own. Because the photos are quite busy, I'm going to look for pattern papers that aren't too patterned, that are on the plainer side to go behind the photos, just to really anchor them down on the layout. I want them all to be different. I think it's an ideal way of using up some scraps as well. And I'm just looking, I don't want the photos to be quite one above the other. I'm just trying to figure out which way I want the tags to lie, because I'm going to go in alternates, as I've got 5 different photographs there. So while I'm sorting out the tags, let me tell you about the photographs. I have an obsession with Big Thunder Mountain Railroad Ride at Disney. It's my absolute favourite. And I can't tell you over the years how many times I've ridden this ride. It started off, I think, probably when I rode it with the children, and I still ride it as an adult. And these photos were taken last year, and it was the first time I'd ridden the ride in over 10 years. And I think we did it 3 or 4 times easily just in one day, because it's my go-to. And my husband took these photos of me. I had no clue to start with that he was taking pictures of me on this ride, but there's just something joyful about it that I really enjoy it. So yeah, they're not necessarily flattering photos, but it certainly does show that I'm enjoying myself on this ride. So looking back at the layout now, I've got tags where they should be, and I'm just bringing in some embellishments. As I say, I don't want to overdo it, but I do want to add some embellishment, and I really like the colours in that sun there. So I'm trying out a couple of flowers potentially that might work. I don't think I use either of those in the end. If you've watched my videos before, you know that I'll have to have a look at all the pieces that I've selected there to see what works. Do try and get as much stash on my layouts as I can without overwhelming it. Found a really nice couple of hearts there that definitely will make the cut, and a few phrases as well, just to bring those pops of orange. Decide I want to add a little bit more to this background, so I'm just going to leave these off. I haven't stuck down anything yet, so it's very easy to do. And I've got the stencil from the most recent Fox box, which is 110, and I've got a couple of shades of blue there that are ink oxides, and just some brushes, and I'm just going to add some of the circles over the pre-made background. These Vicky Booting backgrounds are really easy to add to. They're made of really good quality paper, and because this is literally dry ink, it's not going to warp or anything to the paper. But I think the circles just add another element to this already made background. I'm not the best mixed media person on the team, that's our Julie Taylor, but I would say don't be put off by using stencils, particularly in a way like this, using inks over the top of something else. I think it adds a really nice subtle effect and adds another layer to your layout. I brought in a darker blue just to add another contrast with the stenciling. You may notice that I'm touching a piece of scrap paper on the left before I touch the layout, and that's because I don't want any harsh edges from the brush, so I just dab it off on that scrap. So that's the finished stenciling, and I've managed to stick the photos with the tags behind them down, and now is the embellishing. So I've changed it around a little. I've kept the sun and some of the orange words and phrases, but I've got rid of the flowers, and I cut a lot of the clouds out of one of the Where To Next papers, and with a journaling pen I'm just running around the edge just to give them a little bit of definition, and I'm going to add them around the layout and around the title as well, because even though we're on this railroad, I feel like my head is in the clouds. So I think that goes really well with the swirly background that I've added as well. So yeah, so I'm going to keep it simple this time. I think you'll find that the What a Ride is a fabulous perspective. There's lots of ways that you could actually use it, and because it's white as well, it will go with any colour scheme that you have in mind. So do check it out. It's part of the Thrill Seeker perspective set, and you'll find there's lots of new perspectives in the Bramble Fox store, and you can find that at bramblefox.co.uk. I've just brought in the fox dies number 22, and I've cut two of those dies. One says super and one says photo, and I've cut them in another orange orangey paper, and I've brought some backed it with a navy just to add another pop of orange down the photos. I'm going to add one to the first one and one to the lowest one. So I'm just adding a few clusters. I've got these hearts I really want to use, and there's a little circle journaling spot there. And you'll find the more clouds I add, I end up with quite a few come the end, but I think they're a really nice addition. I'm having a final look over of the clusters now, seeing what else I can add. I find a couple of Mickey ears charms in my stash, so I'm going to add those on as well. I've got a few little yellow phrases, so I'm going to add them too as a pop, which work well with the sun at the top. So I'm just doing a little bit of final tweaking. Sometimes I find the simplest layouts take the most thinking rather than ones where they seem to be more complex. But once I've got these clusters sorted, I'm going to bring in some glue dots to stick them down. I prefer not to stick things down completely. I like to see the edges lift a little and have a bit of a shadow. So I find that glue dots work really well for me. While I just finish off, I would really recommend that you check out all the design team on YouTube and on Instagram. Lots of inspiration there for you to use your perspectives and get them in your albums. If you don't already subscribe to the Foxbox or the Foxbox Plus, I'd recommend you also check that out. And that is where you can find this stencil at present, and it's number 110. So check those out, make yourself a brew and have a good rummage through the store. There's some absolute gems there. And as I say, new perspectives being added all the time. Well, I feel like this is pretty much done now. So it's just for me to say thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Leave us a comment. This is the full image, and there'll be some close-ups too. So this is Sheena Rowlands for Bramble Fox, and we hope to see you here again real soon. Bye for now.